Okay, let's unpack this. For years, 360 video felt like this big compromise, right? You either got amazing quality or you got something small enough to carry around. Not both. So today, we're doing a deep dive into the Insta360 X4 Air starter bundle. The sources we've looked at suggest it might just be the thing that finally bridges that gap. Our mission really is to figure out how. How does this tiny thing deliver 8K? What are the real breakthroughs and, what are the hidden catches? We want to see if it genuinely works for both casual users and maybe even pros.
And that mix is exactly why this is worth digging into. I mean, for so long, getting that really immersive 360 shot meant lugging around serious gear. It was complicated. What the sources seem to highlight with the X4 Air is, well, it's not just another camera. It feels like a shift, like the industry is saying, okay, let's make this high-res stuff actually usable for everyone. It kind of changes the game for what quality 360 video can be.
Yeah, and that shift seems to start like the second you pick it up. The reviews we saw keep coming back to just how light it is. It's 165 grams. That's nothing. Perfect for travel, vlogging, chucking in a bag for hiking. Basically anywhere you don't want bulk. It seems designed to just disappear until you need it.
Absolutely. Yeah. But, usually with action cams, light means, well, flimsy. What's interesting here, though, is how they've apparently made it feel pretty sturdy despite the weight. Mm-hmm. And they included something really smart, something that adds real value long term. Replaceable lenses.
Okay, replaceable lenses. Sounds good. But, my skepticism kicks in here a bit. We've seen this before, right? Where the replacements are super expensive or hard to find, and it sort of defeats the purpose. Does the source material tell us anything about how easy or costly these actually are?
That's a fair point, and it's crucial. The sources suggest the lens guards are pretty user-friendly to swap out, so you're not sidelined for long if one gets scratched. But maybe more importantly, think about this. Yeah. You're pushing 8K video through a tiny body. That generates heat. A lot of it. The fact that you can swap the lens guard easily also suggests a design that has to be pretty good at managing heat. It hints that they've thought about preventing overheating during those long 8K shoots. So it's protection, yeah, but also maybe a sign of thermal performance.
Right, good point. Okay, here's where it gets really interesting then. Resolution. We have to talk about what 8K actually delivers in a 360 camera. The specs say stunning 8K 360 video, and reviewers mention extraordinary clarity.
Yes, but the real technical insight here, especially for creators, isn't just about watching that 8K sphere in VR, though you can. The big advantage is for cropping and reframing. Think about older 5.7K cameras. When you reframe that 360 view into a standard flat video like for Instagram or something, that final video often looked, well, soft, maybe not even full HD. With 8K, you capture so much initial detail that when you crop down later to make your normal 16-point line video, you can actually maintain a really crisp, detailed 4K output. So the 8K isn't just for the 360 view itself, it's the raw material to make amazing traditional videos after you shoot. It really raises the quality floor.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. So 8K is basically production headroom. That's a great way to put it. And that feeds right into Insta360's whole philosophy, doesn't it? The shoot first, frame later thing.
Exactly. It takes away that pressure. The stress of, did I get the shot? Is it framed right? Especially when things are moving fast.
Yeah, you just capture everything. Literally the whole scene.
Right. The camera basically grabs a high-res snapshot of that entire moment in time. So creator can just focus on, well, whatever they're doing, the action, the conversation, and trust they can sort out the camera angles later. It's incredibly freeing. Think about surfing or busy street markets or trying to film wildlife. You can't predict where the action will be.
Okay, but if you are capturing that kind of chaotic action, you need stabilization that can keep up with 8K detail. And the sources consistently praise Insta360's FlowState stabilization. They pretty much all say it's like best in class. Footage stays buttery smooth, even if you're running or biking.
Yeah, and to understand why it's so good, we need to look beyond just the name FlowState. The sources hint that it's using some clever algorithms, but crucially, it's combined with really accurate 9-axis gyro data. So the camera isn't just guessing, it knows its exact position and rotation in 3D space, like many, many times every second. This lets the software basically erase the bumps and shakes in post.
Ah, okay, so it's mapping its own movement.
Precisely. And the payoff for you, the user, is you get that super smooth gimbal-like footage without needing an actual gimbal. No extra bulk, no extra battery to charge, no setup hassle. It's all built into that tiny 165-gram camera. It makes that whole ultra-portable idea much more real because you're ditching another piece of gear.
So visuals are sharp, motion is smooth. What about sound? If this thing is so small, are we giving up on audio quality? because bad audio can ruin great footage.
That's often the weak link with action cams, for sure. But the sources suggest they did put some thought into it. They specifically mention a built-in wind guard system.
A wind guard. Does it make a real difference?
Apparently, yes, especially outdoors, which is where you'd use this camera most. It cuts down a lot of that horrible wind noise, that buffeting sound, so voices and ambient sounds come through clear. And this raises an important question, maybe for vloggers or travel filmmakers listening. Why is this small detail actually a big deal?
Well, less hassle in post-production, I guess. Not needing extra mics all the time.
It's exactly time-saving. If you're just grabbing a quick clip, some B-roll, maybe an unplanned chat, the fact that the built-in audio is usable means you don't have to mess around with syncing audio from separate mics later. That's a huge workflow improvement. One less thing to carry, charge, and manage. It fits the whole simple and portable vibe.
Okay, now let's get to the features that feel a bit like, well, magic tricks. The big one everyone knows is the invisible selfie stick. I remember the first time I saw that, it looked so weirdly professional, like the camera was just floating.
A clever illusion.
Yeah. The camera essentially stitches the stick right out of the final shot. It just vanishes. It makes even really spontaneous shots look polished, almost like drone footage sometimes.
And that polish gets locked in by the software side of things. The hardware is great, but the AI-powered Insta360 app is where a lot of the magic happens. It's consistently rated as one of the best mobile editing apps for this stuff. It takes that massive 8K 360 data and makes it manageable, even on a phone.
How does it do that?
Well, the AI helps find the interesting moments automatically. It can suggest edits, apply effects, and it makes reframing those huge clips really intuitive. It uses all that stabilisation data we talked about too. It turns that shoot first, frame later idea from just a concept into something you can actually do quickly. You can go from raw footage to something shareable pretty fast.
But hang on. Processing 8K files, running stabilization algorithms, and AI analysis. That sounds like a massive load, especially for a phone. Are we talking realistic editing times here, or is it still like, hit render and go make coffee for half an hour?
That's the potential bottleneck, absolutely. And the sources do touch on this. The app is optimized for mobile, performs way better than you might expect, but yeah, it's still demanding. The rendering speed really depends on how powerful your phone or tablet is. Previewing and selecting shots is fast, but exporting that final 8K or high-res reframed clip, you want a reasonably modern device for it to be smooth and quick.
Okay, that makes sense. And that leads us right into the necessary trade-offs. Because physics always wins eventually. We've got lightweight, we've got powerful, but what about battery? The sources say it's solid, but that 8K capture must be thirsty.
Oh, definitely. We can't gloss over that. Pushing 8K and running FlowState constantly, that drains batteries, no matter how good they are for their size. The consensus seems to be, it's great for typical use, capturing bursts of action, but if you need it running non-stop all day, you'll absolutely need spare batteries or a power bank. It's not an endurance marathon runner at peak settings.
Right. And the other side of 8K, the files must be enormous.
Significant is the word. We're talking large files, like potentially several gigabytes for just 10 minutes of high-quality 8K 360 video.
Wow. Okay, so what does that mean practically?
It means two things, really, that add to the real cost. First, you need fast storage. A high-speed microSD card, U3 rated or even better, is essential just to write the data without hiccups. And second, like we just discussed, you need a decent editing device. Whether that's a powerful phone, a tablet, or a computer. You're trading less physical gear for more data management. That's the deal. You get amazing flexibility, but you need the right card and the right editing setup, or that 8K footage will just slow you down.
Okay, so pulling it all together then. You've got the super light body, the 8K giving you that 4K reframing power, the genuinely impressive FlowState stabilization without a gimbal, practical touches like the replaceable touches, and a smart AI editing app. It really does feel like the X4 Air bundle tackles that old compromise head on. It seems intuitive, powerful, maybe even fun.
It definitely seems to blend quality, portability, and smart software in a compelling way. So what does this all mean? When you look at how fast this tech is evolving, high-res sensors, stabilization, AI editing, all getting packed into these tiny 360 cameras, it makes you wonder. The barrier to getting professional-looking footage used to be all about having expensive, complicated gear. Is that barrier kind of gone now? Or has it just shifted? Is it now less about the gear cost and more about having the creative vision? Or maybe, is it about mastering these increasingly complex AI editing tools that the camera companies control? That's something interesting to think about, I reckon.